Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of He Said, He Said, He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective, because one perspective isn't enough. I'm your host, Alvin King, and as always, thank you for choosing to spend part of your August Friday evening with us, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're watching from your home, streaming on your phone, or gathered with your family and friends, we are grateful that you are here with us tonight. And speaking of tonight, in our chat, we're talking about something that happened last weekend in New Orleans, the Red Dress Run and the Red Dress Weekend. There have been questions raised about the participation of the Black LGBTQIA plus community, the perception that we show up in significant numbers, help create the energy and visibility around the event, but don't necessarily participate in the fundraising. And on the other side, there are questions about whether the organization adequately represents the LGBTQIA plus community and whether its charitable giving reflects the communities that help make this event such a phenomenon. So tonight, Bobby and I are giving you some history about those events, and we're asking a simple but important question. Is that perception supported by facts? Or if it is, what should change? And then we have a very special show tonight, and we're going somewhere much deeper. Tonight's special edition of He Said, He Said, He Said, Aging While Black series isn't about politics. It isn't about coming out, and it isn't about simply sexuality. Tonight, it is about perception. Who do people think Black gay men are? And perhaps more importantly, who do we believe that we are? Because we spend our lives walking into rooms where people have already decided something about us before we've even opened our mouths. Sometimes those assumptions come from strangers. Sometimes they come from our own community. Sometimes they come from the workplace. Sometimes they come from the people sitting across the table from us. And sometimes they come from the people we call friends. But here's what happens as we get older. We begin to realize that we don't have to spend our entire lives trying to convince other people that their perception of us is wrong. We begin to understand that the most important perception may be the ones that we have of ourselves. And that's where tonight's conversation begins. We are holding up the mirror. Because when you look in that mirror today, after everything you've experienced, everything that you've accomplished, every mistake you've made, every relationship you've had, every room you walked into, who do you see? Do you see the man you were, the man you thought you were supposed to become, or do you finally see the man you've actually become? And what happens when that person looking back at you doesn't fit the image somebody else created? That's what makes tonight's show's conversation so interesting. Because we're not talking about one Black gay experience. We're talking with men who have lived different lives, built different careers, developed different relationships, and navigated very different worlds. But we share something important. We've lived long enough to understand that perception and reality aren't always the same thing. And tonight, Bobby and I are joined by three remarkable men who bring their own experiences, perspectives, and truths to that conversation. So if you are just tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another hot August evening with us. Welcome to our Aging While Black series, The Mirror and the Mask, how Black gay men see ourselves and how the world sees us. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. And if you all are ready, let's get on with the chat. Bobby.
I'm sorry. Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How you doing, man?
I'm well. I was drinking some water and I was about to cough and I muted myself because I did not want my cough to be in the back of your monologue. So then I forgot to unmute myself, but you can hear me now, yes?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Happy Friday.
How you doing tonight?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited about this show. I'm excited about our guests.
Yes.
I'm excited to see you, as always. And I'm excited to see the guests who have shown up on the show that we can see, first of all. First of all, hello, Patrice Wallace.
Hey, Tony.
Eric Shields from North Carolina is on here. Thank you.
Hello, King.
Happy to you, King. Let me see. We have Rodney 400.
My boy from Philly.
From Philly. You better. That's right. Represent. Represent. Okay.
Hey,
Michelle Bowie is here. Michelle Sims is here. Sean Holmes is here. Thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. It really means a lot to us.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Tony.
Like I said, Bobby, we have an exciting show tonight. But before we get into our show,
yes,
our chat tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is called "We Made It a Moment. Do we owe it a donation?" And Bobby, I want to talk about something that happened around one of New Orleans' most outrageous and successful traditions that's one getting some conflicting press. And we're talking about the Red Dress Run and the Red Dress Weekend. Okay, two different events. Now, before we go any further, I think we need to get some history, Bobby.
Okay.
Black gay men did not create the Red Dress Run, and we did not make it a national or international event. The tradition goes back to 1987 when Donna Reinhardt, who passed away in 2013, showed up at a Hash House Harriers run in Long Beach, California, wearing a red dress and heels, and decided she was going to run anyway. The following year, the San Diego Hash House Harriers organized the first formal red dress run in her honor, and the tradition spread around the world. And New Orleans has taken that tradition and made it even bigger. The city has been hosting the Red Dress Run for decades, and the 2026 event is being billed by NOH3 as the 32nd annual Red Dress Run. So, no TikTok, didn't create it. Black gay men, as I said, didn't create it. But here's where I think, Bobby, the black gay men deserve every flower that we can give them for this. We absolutely helped create the massive Black LGBTQIA+ social scene surrounding Red Dress Weekend. Through our parties, our promoters, our fashion, our social media presence and energy, and yes, our spending. We joined an established event and helped turn the weekend into a major cultural, social experience. And that distinction is very important, Bobby, because now there's a conversation within the Black LGBTQIA+ community asking a very disturbing question to me. If our community has helped make the weekend what it is, where do we see ourselves as charitable beneficiaries? And then they say, if the organization receiving the money don't appear to be serving our or reflecting our community, then the question becomes, why should we continue contributing at the same level? And Bobby, I'm going to turn this question over to you to kick it off.
Okay.
If you were going to participate, Bobby, in somebody's fundraiser, do you have a responsibility to contribute to the fundraising, even if you don't agree with where the money's going?
Well, Alvin, I believe if you are going to participate in that particular fundraiser, then it begs the question of whether or not you should be participating if you don't agree with where the money is going. Now, very quickly, I will say that you can participate in it and also then use your participation as leverage to possibly expand if appropriate. But I think it also calls us to beg the question as to how do we define contributing to it? Because as you said in your introduction, while a lot of people were aware of the Red Dress Run and Red Dress Weekend, there is no question that the Black LGBTQ community has raised the level of knowledge and notoriety, if you will, to a level that I don't think that they had anticipated. And so there is some form of contribution, I believe, automatically by the presence. But if that presence either pulls away from what I believe is the objective, because one of the questions is whether or not people even know what the hash runners, the house hash, what is that? It's called the house hash. Who are they? Who are
the Red Dress Runners? We'll call them the Red Dress
Runners. But the charity is the hash house, whatever, the runners. But the question is, I think we have to define contribution, because I do believe if you participate and it's a fundraiser, there is some level of obligation to helping raise funds. But financial donation is not necessarily the only means of contribution.
No, it certainly isn't, Bobby. And I want to make it clear to some of the viewers who are just tuning in, and you saw our producer flash some pictures of Donna, Miss Reinhardt, and there were Black people in that picture who had on some numbers. And
right?
But the conversation for me there would be not all the Black people who go to the red dress run are gay.
Correct.
Okay, so they're not gay. Clearly, here's a picture of a man and a woman. So I just want to make sure that we made that distinction in this conversation, because it's going to get funky. Bobby, I don't disagree with, I certainly don't disagree with you on that. And to your point, here's my response to that. Can cultural contribution and financial contribution exist at the same time? And the reason why I ask that is because from what I'm reading on social media and the LGBTQ community is saying, we help make this event a culturally significant. And my first thought became, well, absolutely. Now let's figure out how that cultural power can also produce economic power for the LGBTQIA plus community.
Absolutely.
And that's a much more productive conversation to me than just saying they don't appreciate us. You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree with that. And I will say that just a quick story personally, it very much reminds me of an experience that I had several years ago where I rode a couple of years in the AIDS ride, which many of us will remember. And at the time I was living in Boston, and we were riding from Boston to New York. And, the first year I did it, I did a lot of investigating in terms of where the proceeds of the fundraiser were being distributed. And there were not a lot of agencies or organizations that were supporting LGBTQ people. But instead of just saying, well, they don't appreciate me, I decided I was going to do it again. I was going to raise a significant amount of money. I set a very, very high goal, of which I'm very pleased, thank you, Jesus, that I was able to raise. But I also used that as leverage, because the organization reached out to me as a result of the money that I was able to raise and asked to interview me about, that why I was actually doing the ride. And one of the things that came out of that was having discussion with some of the organizers about the lack of representation that I saw, and hoping that my presence, people seeing me there, would also invite them. But it would only invite them if they began to actually support organizations of people that look like me. So there was an opportunity to really kind of be present and be a part of it, but also use that leveraging to get them to really think about, who the benefactors are. So I do believe that the two can exist.
Thank you. And there's a couple of things that viewers' comments I want to read real quick. Welcome, Troy. Always a pleasure to see you. Maurice Scott said, there are Black organizations on the list. And Maurice, we're going to share that information with you as well in a few minutes. And Rodney 400 said, I thought it was a reason to run in a red dress. And, Rodney, that's not even a joke. That's facts. For some people, that's exactly what it is.
It's true.
Sean is from New Orleans, and he said the registration is $70. And see, we're gonna finish this, and we're gonna come back to you all's questions, because you all are going into some territory that we're getting ready to share with you all. But all of you are saying some of the things that Bobby and I have actually research so that we can share with you tonight. So my question to you, Bobby, is and the viewers, are the Black LGBTQ community sometimes willing to claim ownership of a cultural moment when it's fun, but reluctant to claim responsibility when there's a financial obligation attached to it? And that answer is yes. That answer is yes.
I knew you had an answer for that.
I'm sorry. But do you want to respond? Because you agree that answer is yes.
Well, luckily the name of the show is He Said. And you guys know that we are not about always being in agreement. We agree sometimes to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I do believe that there are some people who just kind of latch on to something for the fun of it and not really willing to do, to really kind of commit to understanding what it's about. I mean, because let's face it, there is something very empowering for a lot of those folks that go down there by putting those dresses on and running through the streets and having fun. It kind of reminds me in some ways, Alvin, of the drag race that we have here in DC on Halloween.
The high heel race.
The high heel race that we have here in Washington, DC. Every year, you just see thousands of men in high heel shoes running down the street. Now, all I'm saying is, I know that this is a fundraiser down in New Orleans.
I'm going to say, I'm trying to find a correlation, but go ahead. I really am.
That for some people, there is this in-your-face audacity empowerment of, look at me, not only look at me and this man in this dress, but also in this beautiful red, because we've seen some of the pictures. They're red dresses, and then there are red gowns and so there's a lot of expression going on down there. But yes, there are people who will never really commit to understanding or committing to the cause. It's just about going down. As Rodney, I mean, look at this gentleman here. Now, I don't know that he didn't participate in terms of a contribution. I don't see a number, but I certainly see a fabulous dress.
Well, and Bobby, to me, that's all that is all well and good. But sticking with why we're talking about this and how the LGBT community has put out there that the red dress run doesn't appreciate them or doesn't doesn't have
acknowledge them or see them.
Their fundraising doesn't go to them. I want to talk about now. We have done some research and we've come up with some facts versus claims. So the viewers have been saying some of this. So I want to go through that right now if we could. Yeah,
they've been chiming in. Thanks guys for chiming in so much tonight. So you want me to do the data or are you going to read something?
Yeah, I want you to go ahead and do the fact versus
I'm going to do that. Okay. So here's some of the things that the research shows. The red dress run is a fundraiser. Check. Yes. Money goes to local nonprofits. Check. Yes. 100% of the proceeds are promoted as going to charity. Yes, they're very clear about that. More than $2 million has been raised historically. Yes. Around 155,000 was distributed in 2023. Yes. Organizations must apply for their grants. Yes. Black serving community organizations have received grants. Yes, that is true also. LGBTQ plus organizations receive significant funding, not established from the data that we were able to find. The Black LGBTQ plus men make up a specific percentage of participants. No reliable data has been provided on that. People are investigating it right now. Black LGBTQ men participate but don't donate. Again, assumptions being made, but no actual data to support it. Thousands attend without registering. Yes, we know that to be true, that there are many participants who do not register. Social media helped grow the event. Yes, definitely, according to reporting. Black LGBTQ plus social media drove the event's growth. Not established completely, but we can certainly see that there has been some evidence of that. There was an LGBTQ plus controversy involving the organization's social media. Yes, this year there has been more of a controversy around that, whether or not people are, again, promoting it and not really promoting the cause. And current leadership says it supports LGBTQ community equality. Yes, that they have documented. There is data to document that fact. But who does the money really serve? So now we've kind of gone through the data of what we were able to find. But Alvin, you wanted to talk a little bit about who the money actually serves.
Yeah, we in our fact finding, we know that the Red Dress Run does they provide funding to Black-led organizations primarily serving Black communities. Mm-hmm. The LGBTQ plus organizations, they also raise money for Black LGBTQ plus organizations and Black LGBTQ plus organizations, children and youth organizations, food and security organizations, housing and homelessness, health and animal welfare. And the arts and community, they provide funding for that. And my problem with the way this commentary has come about in social media When I went online to look for the Red Dress Run weekend, I wanted to see if they have a website or something, or do they, how do they? No, they don't have. I didn't find a website. So really, the people who go down there who was complaining about the Red Dress Run and how they couldn't get a ticket and all this other kind of stuff, there are ways to donate if you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But don't get on here on social media complaining about an organization that's been around for decades, and you saying that they don't support us. I don't think that that's fair. And that's what kind of, almost made me miss my date night the other night, because I was sitting around talking about that. Okay. Because I didn't want to do it.
And, and some of our viewers are chiming in with some very good points. I mean, I believe there are some people who have been introduced to this event through the social media and the promotion within the LGBTQ community, that there are some people who actually think that this is an LGBTQ event. And that weekend, and I think for a lot of people, it's distinguishing those two things. The weekend and the actual run, as you pointed out at the beginning of the show, are two very different things.
They're two different things.
Who's running the event versus who's running the weekend? And is the weekend really an official thing, or just kind of like when people say, well, how the Black LGBTQ community comes to DC for Memorial Day weekend?
Right. And think about it. And, I know we're getting ready to close because we have to move on. And but when I think about the money that they spent to get those designer dresses done, get their eyebrows arched, the amount of time they stuck in the gym, they bought a plane ticket, they got hotel, or drove, or however, they could have found a way to at least provide some donation rather than get online and bash the organization. And that is my only downfall with all of that. Last year, there was no talk. Just keep your mouth closed if you don't know what you're talking about. Just stop. But
it's a worthy cause, and I agree with you. If you're going to go down and you're really going to go in like you go, you got to give something to the organization. I believe. Give
something to the organization. Wow, Greg Wright, who's on here tonight, he said the popular mature Black man travel group actually organized a trip around the red dress this year. Okay, they should have taken up a donation for the cause.
How do you know they didn't?
Well, I don't know. But that would be something that would hopefully come out in all this jargon that we're seeing. I haven't seen it. I don't know if they did it. But my people. Okay. Thank you all.
The people have spoken. It was a rich conversation. The people have spoken.
So, Bobby, for me, this isn't about telling Black gay men they have to give their money to something they don't believe in, but I do believe in reciprocity.
Yes.
If I'm going to participate in a fundraiser, I want to understand what I'm supporting. And if I don't like where the money is going, I don't just stop participating. I ask a question, I advocate for change, and if necessary, I create an alternative. Because here's the question I want to leave with everybody with tonight. If we're powerful enough to make something a cultural phenomenon, shouldn't we also be powerful enough to make sure that some of that power comes back home?
Absolutely.
I think that is the better conversation to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
He said agrees.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We have a wonderful show for you.
We
all.
do.
I can't wait to get into it. And we're about to do it. And maybe, like I said, that's the bigger question, not just how the world sees our community, but how we see ourselves, because our visibility can be powerful, but being truly seen is something different. And that's bringing me to our show, our special edition tonight, Aging While Black, The Mirror and the Mask, how Black gay men see ourselves and how the world sees us. And tonight, we're going to look beyond the image, beyond the perception, and into the man behind the mask. And so before we do that, we're going to introduce each of our guests before we bring them in. Bobby, you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I have the honor of introducing our first guest, and you will see them all eventually soon. But I wanted to start with Greg Wright. First, we have a man who has spent much of his career understanding the power of words, stories, and perception. Because Greg Wright is a communications professional and former communications director for the National Association of Social Workers, with a career that has taken him from major organizations to newsrooms covering the White House, Congress, international trade, and some of the issues shaping our nation. Now, Greg has spent nearly 2 decades as a journalist, with his work appearing in publications including Essence and Gospel Today. So when we talk tonight about how we're seen, how we're represented, and who gets to tell the story, Greg brings a unique perspective because he spent his career both reporting the story and helping shape it. So Greg, it is our joy to have you join us on He Said, He Said, He Said live tonight. But who else did we have, Alvin?
Our second special guest brings us to perhaps the most important relationship we can have, the relationship we have with ourselves. Jules Williams is deeply interested in what happens when we begin to embrace the physical, spiritual, and personal parts of who we are, and finally become comfortable with the person staring back at us in the mirror. Jules speaks openly about growth, mistakes, successes, and most importantly, becoming his authentic self. And that's the powerful piece about Jules, because authenticity isn't something we simply announce. It's something we grow into. Perhaps aging isn't just about getting older. Perhaps it's about becoming more comfortable with the person we've always been. We're looking forward to having Jules on the panel, but we have one more person that we want to introduce you to.
Absolutely. And then there is my friend and my brother, Mr. Maurice Scott, a Washingtonian by way of North Carolina who has called the nation's capital home since childhood. His professional journey has taken him across legal, sales, technology, and emergency response fields. Now, today, Maurice is the owner and CEO of his own media company, specializing in voice acting. And if you know Maurice, you'll know that it makes all the sense in the world. He loves to travel, especially to his beloved Paris, the arts, photography, cultural events, festivals, and intimate concert experiences. He loves learning about people, places, and cultures. And that particularly matters tonight because getting older doesn't mean becoming less curious. And if anything, perhaps we should become more curious about ourselves, one another, and the world we've spent all these years navigating. So it is, again, joy to have our brother, welcome back to the He Said, He Said, He Said stage, Maurice Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guests, Greg, Jules, and Maurice to our platform tonight. Hey, brothers.
Hello.
Brothers in the house.
Thank you. I just want to, again, thank you all for being here. This is a special conversation, and we needed 3 special men. And thank you all for being available. So tonight, the 5 of us are going to have an honest conversation about how we see ourselves, how the world sees us, and what it means to become comfortable in our own skin. And I'm, again, so grateful that you guys are here with us tonight. One thing that we do here, he said, when our guests are on here, to help them get to know you a little bit better, I'm going to ask you a quick question, and I'm going to start out with Maurice, and then I'm going to go to Jules, and then to Greg. When you think about yourself.
Maurice, hold on, Alvin. I think we lost Maurice, so you might want to start with Jules.
Oh, we lost Maurice? I
think he's going to come back in, but I'd start with Jules or Greg.
We're going to start with Jules. Jules, when you think about yourself, what are 3 words that describe you before you even think about being Black or gay?
Peaceful, healthy, strong.
Greg?
Goofy, nerdy, and a gardener.
Goofy, healthy, peaceful, gardener. Like I love it.
I love it. Well, you know what, Maurice, I don't know what happened to Maurice, but this is a live show. So Bobby, if you could just go ahead. I know Maurice is going to be back in, and I'm going to have him. He's been on the show before, but I might ask him the same question. But Bobby, go ahead and kick off the question for our guys tonight.
Okay, so gentlemen, one of the things that we're talking about is how we show up as Black gay men in this society, how we show up, how we see ourselves, how others see us. But the question is, what defines you most? If you look at, there's Maurice, he's back.
Sounds off for some reason.
Maurice, can I go ahead and ask him next? Sorry, Bobby. Maurice, what are 3 words that how you would describe yourself before you even think about being Black and gay?
Evolving. positive, and curious.
Okay.
Exactly what I mentioned in his introduction, his curiosity.
I'm sorry, Bobby. Take it away.
So the question I have for you, gentlemen, and I will direct it first at Jules when I start with him. What, if you look at your life today, what defines you most, being Black or being gay?
Being Black first. I'm always Black first. Gay is always second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't identify me. You know, my personality identifies me, but Black first, always.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, any other gentlemen like to chime in on that before I move to my next question?
I agree wholeheartedly. I'm a Black man, above and beyond, like first. And the gay thing is a little bit like further, like back. I see like myself as a father, a caregiver, etc. There are other roles, but hey, I enjoy them all. So
Excellent. Excellent.
I think for me, I go by human first, then Black, then gay.
Gentlemen, the question I have for you is the next one is like, when did you realize that you were most comfortable with the person that you are?
Ooh.
We're coming out the gate with some pop. Come on. When did you?
Maybe about 48
Mm-hmm.
years old. I started identifying with comfortability a little more, right? Like I understood whatever they say the assignment is, like this is how I get through life. So maybe about 48, 49 was when I started shifting.
It kind of reinforces that notion that people say that, you know, once you become your 40s, whereas when you're young, you think your 40s are such a bad thing, but there is something about being in those 40s where you can get kind of grounded. Yeah.
It's very important. It's very important. I didn't know this. I heard people say it. I didn't know, but it really does. A light really does come on.
So I actually have a phrase. I'm not going to use like profanity here, but
thank you.
But I have a phrase calling the effort like 40s and like 50s. Okay. And I'm at a stage now where I don't care what you think about me because I like myself. I can entertain myself. I can pay my own like bills. I can travel alone. I can do everything, and I'm quite like happy like with that. So it's like a point in life where you don't really care about what our society or other people like think of you.
Yeah.
Greg, are you a Gemini?
Yeah, you know that's right. You know how we are.
Not sure what that's going to mean for us, but you know, hey.
The thing about us is that we are loners. We are very social, like people. We have a lot of acquaintances, but a lot of times we're like a bunch of loners, and we like that.
Yeah.
Alvin, I don't know whether that's you or not, but that's definitely me.
I'm a lot of that, but I want Maurice to answer that question. I want Maurice to be on this bandwagon, you know, of Bobby's question. When did you become comfortable with the man that you are, Maurice?
Wow. I think it's a two-stage answer for me. For people that know my background, I had to become comfortable with myself probably in my 20s, early 30s. And then probably when I turned 50, I reached a completely different level of comfort. And it's sort of like, before I was like, okay, I don't really care what anyone says or think. But now I'm just like, this is my life. I'm not here to let anyone hold me back. You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. If you think certain things about me, I don't care. I'm just here to live my life, and I'm here to make my life as beautiful as possible. Life is too short for anyone else to taint it.
Amen.
Amen.
Jules, I also want to add that, you know, our good friend Rodney up in Philly has put in the chat that he's known you a long time, and he believes you were comfortable far earlier than 48, just for the record.
Well, so Rodney is my special friend, right? Like he's one of the closest people I've ever met in my life, right? And so he knew me as a 17-year-old, right? So I may have been comfortable, but not being able to say it out loud.
Yeah.
there was a lot of navigating through that and what that meant for other people. Because I used to consider other people's thoughts.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't consider them first yet. I consider mine first all the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, before I ask the question, I'm going to tell you right now, I became comfortable with the man I am when I was 17, and I told my mother, and she said, well, that's all right with me. I'd rather you be gay than be a jailbird.
Right.
And life started. Okay. So I became comfortable with me at 17. So I want to ask this question to Greg. What parts of yourself did you spend years trying to hide?
That's a very good question. I'm gonna put out a little bit of a personal thing. I was actually a married man for about half of like my life. So I've been like fortunate that I've been able to kind of experience all sides of life. I feel almost like I've lived two separate lives in one life, a Gemini thing, right? So ask that question one more time because I'm kind of going off. Say that one more time so I can get back to it.
What parts of yourself did you spend years trying to hide?
Yeah, so it wasn't like I tried to hide it at all, because when I married, I mean, it wasn't a mask. I love to I was like so it wasn't like a cover or a beard, but at the same time I also had desires that I did not kind of express until I was up in like my 40s. So it's kind of like, as I said before, it really kind of like took me till I was in like my 40s to just be like myself. And a good thing, someone had like you, Alvin, had like said that you had a conversation with your mom at like 17. So I had that when I was like 43, and my mom said, look, I love you. Are you paying your own like bills? Are you looking out after yourself? You can be whatever you want. I love you anyway. And when I heard that, after that, everything was like smooth sailing. Unfortunately, a lot of same gender loving men don't have that support, but I did. So I was very, very fortunate.
Yep.
Amen. What about you, Jules?
I felt that way when I was younger, maybe in my 20s, probably, because I didn't understand what that meant yet, right? I didn't want to just blast out who I was because I didn't even understand who I was yet, right? So I'm not going to I never had a conversation with my mother about being gay. I just introduced her into my life, right? I never had to say, Mom, I'm this. Come to my home. These are my friends, right? This is where I am. And so I had the fortunate, like Greg just said, I mean, like, who just said that? Somebody
Alvin.
said Alvin. Alvin said at 17, his mother, he had the conversation. His mother was very open. My mom was always open. She never didn't understand who I was. They say a mother knows first. I believe that to be true. Yeah. My mom knew that I was gay a long time. And if she denied it, that was on her, not me.
Yeah. I think the way what you've described also kind of supports that notion of inviting people in, as opposed to a lot of people have talked about, you know, why should one have to come out, as opposed to it's simply inviting someone into their lives.
Here I am. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is my lifestyle. These are my friends.
Yes.
Right.
Amen. Well, I'm gonna close this segment of how we see ourselves to Maurice. Today, Maurice, what parts of yourself are you most proud of? And speak up a little louder, Maurice. I think your voice is not coming out as I know it can.
Okay. What I'm most proud of? Just me and the man that I've become. The challenges that I've had to overcome. Where I've been able to take my life. The people that I've met. So yeah, I think I'm proud of me and just who I've become over time.
Amen.
And that comes with age.
And
with age, hopefully.
A lot of that. Also, and this goes back to your last question. A lot of that also comes with being true to yourself, being authentic with yourself. The question you asked previously is about hiding part of yourself. I came out partly in junior high school and partly in high school, so I never hid who I was. So I think from that, I've always had a comfortability with myself. And that allowed me to just sort of grow and flourish because I knew who I was at that time.
Well, the viewers, thank you, you guys. The viewers are chiming in like crazy. Let me say hello to some folks. Some folks I've never seen you on here. So first of all, hello, Robert. Hello, Sean Austin. I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining us. Rodney, you know, whenever I see you, the light lights up in my heart.
Always.
And Life Simmons, I don't know who you are, but your comment was in your youth, you were inspired by so many accomplished Black gay men that inspired you to be yourself. Early on, you learned how to equate Black gay men with having superpowers to fight being othered.
What a blessing. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
sorry.
Yeah, but I wonder how old he is, because in our age like range, and I'm a little older than a few of our panelists, there weren't like really a lot of role models out there for us. I think now, I mean, I look around and it's like a lot more, many more.
I have to say, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. At 17, I met 4 of the most powerful, well-centered Black gay men who were 10 to 15 years older than me. One of them ended up being my lover for 17 years. So for me, growing up in DC, there were so many like role models of Black gay men, definitely before the AIDS epidemic hit. Definitely. Yeah.
I think you were very fortunate, an exception of the rule. You know, I just read Rodney's statement about, you know, thinking he was going to go, growing up in the church, literally thinking he was going to go to hell until he was in his 20s. I think there was far more experiences of not having that. As Greg was pointing out, I think you were very fortunate to have those role models. I know we've got a lot of questions, so I'm going to keep it moving here, kind of moving into kind of like how others see us. So gentlemen, what I'd like you to consider is, what do you think people believe about you? What assumptions do people make about you after 30 seconds of meeting you? If you had to choose 1 or 2 assumptions that they make about you in those introductions, what do you think they are? Maurice, we'll start with you.
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I've had people say before that I was somewhat of an enigma, that they didn't understand me because I don't really fit into a specific stereotype, and I'm very quiet for the most part, and I stay to myself a lot. So I don't know. I hear a lot of different things, but honestly, I don't care.
Okay. Greg, what about you? Assumptions that you think people make with you pretty much in the first 30 seconds.
Easy. It's like he's always on the road. He's always at a party. Greg knows where all of the bars, all the restaurants, all the dance parties, all the places. So hey, I don't disagree, but hey, a lot of times I'm here in my house in the bed at 8:30, snoring. Okay.
I'm curious, Jules, how would you answer that question?
Probably that people probably think I don't care about anything. Like I literally walk in a room and it's my room, right? I literally walk into a bar or a restaurant and I don't think about anyone else, but I do consider everyone. I look around. I only go places I feel safe. And so if my arrogance come across that way, it's not arrogance. It's just my strength. And I walk in a room and I pay attention to everything around me. I don't say words right away.
So that leads
to Bobby, I want to ask you, Bobby, because I need you to answer that question. For some reason, my spirit's there. Bobby, how would you answer that question? What is the perception people have of you after seeing you after 30 seconds?
That's a good question, Alvin. I asked the question, but I really hadn't thought about it. I think that people, I think my being an extrovert is pretty obvious. Like I come into a room and I like engaging with people pretty quickly. It's very natural for me. I think that people assume that I don't have a boundary or a side that would cut people off if they go to a certain place with me. Alvin and Maurice, you guys have known me long enough that side does not come out often, but it's definitely there. I think you both have seen it when it's there. But I don't think people. I think people see me as someone that they can just kind of say anything or do anything, and I won't say anything back. But that's not the case, and you guys know that's not the case.
Okay.
Can I turn that question around right quick?
Sure.
What did both of you think of us? Like from just.
You know, I'm a quick thinker.
Oh, wow.
All
right, Maurice.
Well, when it comes to you, Maurice, the 30 seconds in meeting you, I think of calm. I'm in a calm place. Greg, the 30 seconds in meeting Greg, I think, you know, excitement. He's just always happy. I've never seen him anything but happy. And I just met Jules in June, and Jules has such a powerful, his spiritual being is so, Jules has a very spiritual aspect to who he is when you walk into a room and you see him and he greets you. So calm, spiritual, fun.
For me, I would say two things from Maurice. One, your heart. I've said to people, I've said it to you, and I've said it about you to many people. You have one of the biggest hearts of anyone that I know. Like your heart, it's just, you can't meet you and not know it. You also smell divine all the time. You wear a beautiful cologne. So and that's a good, because I'm an olfactory person.
You know what? I was trying
smell
to do
good.
it. But you know what? I agree. Let the sledgehammer come down.
When you smell good, you're already going in the right direction for me. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
Greg, I would say I feel your energy. I do, like, I can see you doing all those things, but I like going someplace and you'd be in the person that I need to check in about those things. Jules, you come across to me as reflective. Like when you described how you kind of like come into like that, for some reason, although we've just met tonight, it doesn't surprise me that that's how you navigate. Like that you're going to come in and assess and so forth and be thoughtful about. So those are the things that first come to mind. So.
Well, thank you, Maurice, for adding that question, and we're going to move on.
Okay. So one of the things we asked, you know, and I think Jules, you had kind of responded to that when you talked about walking into a bar. And the question is, have you ever surprised people by simply just being yourself?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm a surprise. Like I literally am usually the same all the time. I don't have to adjust to anyone or anything. Any room I walk into, I'm always the same. They call it code switch. I don't have that. That's not a thing for me. I remain the same, so I don't have to do that.
Yes.
Because I could slip up doing anything other than that, right?
Yes.
And so I don't ever want to make that mistake.
Yes.
So my goal all the time, whatever room I walk into, is be consistent and be who I am. Don't change that for anyone. I don't care who they are.
The term I heard today that exemplifies that is code owning. Not code switching,
right?
But code owning. Like you come in and the room calibrates to you. You don't calibrate to the room.
I don't.
like that.
Right. Thank you. Oh wow, I'm a code owning.
Code owning.
Today, heard it today. One of my Howard classmates, Cheryl Gentry, code owning.
I'm sorry, somebody was getting ready to say something. Was that you, Maurice, or was that Greg?
Maurice, probably.
I was just saying, I like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
code owning. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you guys now. We're still talking about how others see us. So within the LGBTQ, within LGBTQIA plus spaces, how are, in your opinion, are older Black gay men viewed? I'm gonna go to Maurice.
And there's the laugh.
Okay. Wow, it's interesting. I think for some younger gay men, we are a problem.
A problem?
Yes.
In what way?
I'm trying to think of the best way to say it without. We're trying to be nice, rather.
Look, this is you go ahead and say it any way you want to say it. I want to hear it. I need you. take all the
some
sugar
young-
off of it. How are
Some
we?
younger guys could be just really rude. And
Huh?
just
So what?
old head, you know, you think you know it all, you've been around. It's just, they could be really rude when it comes to age.
Hmm.
I remember there was one time I took a guy to a picnic, younger guy. I was trying to expose him to something new. And he constantly insulted everyone because they were a lot older. And these were like prominent gay men within the community, Black gay community. And he was probably around 34, 35. And you had people there that were like in their 60s and 70s. And he just constantly, you know, insulted everyone because of their age. So it's, you know, things like that. But then you have the other side where there are a lot of guys that look at us like daddies for the most part. They want to be with the older guy. I don't know if you saw a photo I had posted recently. It went viral, and it was just all of these comments. They were like, "I just want to be with the older man," and they were calling us daddies and all this other stuff. So
Is that a bad thing?
I didn't like that the photo went viral, but
Oh, it was of you.
yes.
Oh,
He and several friends. It was he and several friends.
Right. Okay. And one of our viewers, Eric, said it depends on who's viewing us. Some see us
Yes.
as mentors, some see us as disposable, and some see us as money bags.
Yes, and
That's real
yes.
talk. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. But the piece that you also said, Maurice, you said they see us as know-it-alls.
Hmm.
And some of us come across that way, but there are a lot of us that don't. And so,
Well, true. That's true.
yeah. So I'm going to move on. You know, if you guys don't jump in, Bobby, go ahead to the last question, and then
Yeah, I was just going to ask. My next question is going to be: do you guys think that society gives Black gay men the grace of aging gracefully?
I think so. I mean, to you guys' point, we don't care at this age, right? It's literally, I don't care what they give us. We take what we want, right? And so for this life, for me, I'm going to ride this one out, right? You don't get to decide how I live, right? No one gets to decide that for me from this point on. But that took a lot of work.
Yeah,
This is not easy. And when you guys talk about our age and the history of what we've done and where we've been, we established that. We did this. We got through you talked about HIV and AIDS and all of those things. We got through a illness that people didn't even survive. Right. Like, and we're still here.
Yeah.
Right. And so you don't get to talk about us in a way other than saying respect us.
Yeah.
For me.
And I appreciate that. But I think one of the things that I also was thinking about in my thinking about that question is the obsession with the physical, like, the six-pack abs, the big pecs, are we allowed to age gracefully, or are we obsessed with and committed to holding on to that standard of youth, if you will?
I don't care at this point. Sorry, Greg. I don't care at this point because I'm 56 and I look amazing, right? Like, listen, I don't care. I look great. I don't care about that. I'm not in the gym every day. I'm there probably once a week.
Right.
It's just watch what you eat. Sorry.
Yeah. It is all in what you eat. Absolutely right. I mean, I work out like 3 times a week. I stay fit. I don't think like Black people overall are as ageist as our white brothers are, because it seems like in the white world, when you're over like 30, you're like out of it. I don't like lack for a bunch of young folks after me, which astounds me. I read a comment over, and I don't know if it's a fetishizing of us, a zaddy thing, hey, a money thing, what it is exactly. But as I'm like aging, I'm not lacking in. And, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to be. We all look good. I think everybody like here is like holding on very well. So hey. Hanging by a strand. Hanging by the laptop.
I need to read a comment that Life Simmons, first of all, said he's 62 years old. We asked how he was. He had that beautiful comment earlier. Yeah. And I think Greg said, well, I wonder how old he is. He's 62. And so he said, and I met you two with a boot on my foot. Okay, see the bridge. Brian, thank you for joining us tonight. My friend, you guys, I know we're going to, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for enjoying this conversation. We're definitely going over, but I'm enjoying it too. But I just wanted you all to know, go ahead and refill that wine glass or that water glass or whatever you're doing, because we got a little bit more conversation for you.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. And tonight, I want to move into something that's really important that a lot of us don't talk about, is brotherhood, the relationship with straight men and other gay men.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I have beautiful relationships with both, but a lot of times we don't talk about it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So the first question I want to ask, and I'm going to throw this out to Maurice: have your closest male friendships been with straight men or gay men, and why?
As I've gotten older, they've become with gay men. When I was younger and men knew about me, it was with straight men. My closest friend growing up in my 20s and 30s, well, late teens, 20s and 30s, was straight. And he knew about me. We would go to gay clubs together. We would go to straight clubs together. He came over every week to cut my hair. Well, when I had hair. He would come over because he worked a block away from me. So he would come over. He would spend the night, sleep in the same bed with me. No problem whatsoever.
All right. I when it got to that last part, I was like, whoa, that too?
It's funny.
What about you?
I remember we would go grocery shopping together. And there was one time we were at the Safeway. This was over on L Street, over by, there used to be Bally's nightclub. I think it was called Holiday Spa or Bally's nightclub. And we were in line checking out. And the cashier looked at us and said, "Oh, y'all make a cute couple." I said, "Oh, we're not a couple." And he hits me on the shoulder and said, "What, you don't claim me now?" And I was like, "You're straight," but yeah, that's how.
Very confident.
That's when you say cute. Jules, what's your take on that? And I'll ask the question again: have your closest male friendships been with straight men or gay men?
Gay men throughout life.
Throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the closest.
I love straight people and they love me as well, but gay men have been my closest friends.
Greg?
Let's see. Two of my closest buddies, they have been buddies since I was 18. They're both straight men. One of them knows I'm out and the other does not, but he's gonna find out after he looks at this program. This is gonna be an interesting conversation next week. Yeah, but I mean, but see, the thing is that I'm just like me, and so I show up, and I don't have to talk about sexuality because I don't ask them about what they do in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, but yeah, that's me.
He said. Bring people out to play. Bobby, go ahead.
Given the value of these relationships with our straight brothers and so forth, what do these relationships teach us? What do our relationships with our straight brothers teach us?
Not to overthink. We do a lot of overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
We think for them, right? We think that they have a problem with us being away. We think that we do a lot of thinking for them, and it's far from the truth. If you ever have a conversation with a close person to you, they'll tell you that that's not the truth. They never thought of you that way. They were never attracted to you. They only thought of you as a friend. Straight people do not like gay men. They're straight.
Right. Keep that in mind. Okay.
A yes. Say it.
A real straight man
It's straight.
Is straight.
Don't care.
Period. Mic drop. Let it go. Stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Stop being thirsty. Stop. Okay. Put the water down. Okay.
This is great. I'm loving this conversation.
But I want to chime in and say one of the things that what having a straight male friend has taught me is that I can see the other side of how someone thinks. You know what I'm saying? I can understand. And lo and behold, other than the fact that they are straight, they have the same feelings and the same issues and the same problems. They go through everything that we go through, except for it's with the opposite sex. And so I learned, wow, how would I have navigated that if and so I pulled that from them, and I respect that. And like I said, I have one of the most beautiful straight friends in the world. I get teary-eyed thinking how close he is and how much he loves me.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad
Greg,
you asked that question, Alvin.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I was only going to agree. What I find is that there's a commonality. I mean, we are all dealing with like aging. Our parents are like older or dead. If we are a father, our children do like crazy. I'm not gonna say that word, crazy as whatever word. So you know what I find is that there's a lot of commonalities. But another thing is that I lived on like both sides of it, so I can kind of relate. So it's kind of like a code. What's that word, Bobby, that you use? Code.
Code owning.
Yeah, code owning. So I just go back and like forth. It's not a big deal, and I don't see really a difference. I mean, everybody likes like sex or they don't. So it's like we're all the same. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants affirmation. The thing about a straight like person that I find a male, and I feel sorry for them because I think that gay men are more like able to be expressive, creative. I think in a straight world, because I was in it, it's more of like a box. Like, you know, I can't like do that, or I'm gonna look like a gay person. I can't eat like a quiche because that's like a gay food. So there's all of these like boundaries that in a gay world is like, hey, who cares? So put on a red dress, go down to New Orleans if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, that was all. I was going to go into that, but let me go ahead and Greg, thank you you just went all into the net. So for Maurice and Jules, what has, you know, you're having a, you know, your gay friendships, what has your gay friends provide that your straight friends do not?
Similarities. Right? Like when we talk about relationship, we can be more similar because we're talking about a male. We're not talking about a female. And I know that those things are different because they have children and family, and they have all of these activities and things that we don't do as gay males. Not all of us, because some of us adopt children. Some of us, like to Greg's point, has children. A lot of my friends that are gay has children as well. But I think we have a lot more similarities.
Right. Good answer. Maurice? What is
I would say the same thing as well. The things that we have in common that we share.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Okay. Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm going to, because I know we've got a lot of questions. I'm going to combine two, right, very quickly. I'm going to think about. So the first one being, do you feel, I think, and I do think that we've touched on it a little bit about the capacity to have deep emotional relationships with your straight brothers and so forth. Alvin spoke about his, and we've all said that we've got those close relationships. Do you think, though, that they can sometimes confuse respect for attraction?
I think it can happen.
Yes, especially if they're questioning themselves.
Well, I think it can happen. I think it can happen.
I just want you to know you said that 3 times.
Well, because
and your face has changed every time you said it. So I think we're thinking about something where it did happen.
When I think about how we dress sometimes, I said last week on the show, one of the key things about me is that I love feeling sexy. Sometimes sexy to me is putting on like a t-shirt, and some jeans. And I think that sex appeal, when you have, not that I'm saying that I have sex appeal, but when a person has sex appeal,
it's too late. You've already said it. It's too late. Move on.
You have it. And I think how we sometimes present ourselves, because we smell good oftentimes, and we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. We smell good, we look good, our clothes fit. That's exuding some powerful energy. And a straight man can say, wow. You got
to go twice.
And don't let a woman compliment you. Whoa. That's all I'm saying. You all can
Okay.
add in, or you can chime in if you want, but that's my answer to that question.
Women always ask the cologne that we wear because they want to give it to their husband.
Yes.
Women always ask, what do we smell? They love our scent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they always want to buy that exact thing for their husband or boyfriend all the time.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. And Bobby, did you finish your question? Because I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
I'm going to keep it moving because now I want to move into a segment about, because all of you are professionals and we all walk into, these boardrooms, and I'm going to let Bobby go ahead and open that conversation. But I want to talk about that a little bit, about walking into, you're a leader and you walk into these rooms where people have to look at you. So Bobby, take that away, please.
Yes. And we kind of, I love how our conversation has been very organic because it's kind of touched on some of the things early. And it kind of goes back to that whole code switching, code owning conversation that we had earlier. Many of you are in situations where you walk into rooms and, you are being assessed fairly quickly and so forth. So the question is, and Jules, you've already answered, so we know, but have you ever actually intentionally changed your voice? And I guess your voice can be the tone of it as well as the voice, the messaging in terms of walking into, a professional setting, if you will. I know there's one thing when we're talking social, but I'm talking in professional settings. Have you ever intentionally changed your voice?
I've done it once.
I'm going to tell y'all, yes, I have, because I've been in a meeting with a Karen. And you sitting across from me, I can already feel that you're judging me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say what I have to say, but I'm going to make sure that my words cut you when I say it. Okay. That you don't forget that you hear everything that comes out of my mouth. And I'm going to look at you, but the tone of my voice is different when I'm in a room where I'm not completely relaxed. And I've read the room and I know you're expecting me not to be as great as I am. So I'm going to give you a little performance. So in true, honest, I have changed my voice in some rooms because there are some Karens or whatever you want to call, I don't know what, Brads or whatever the hell else you want to call them, but they're in that room. And sometimes I've done that.
Okay.
If I'm honest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I did it at one point in my career. I had a situation, I guess you can call it Karen or whatever. Someone that used to be my supervisor, and we already had issues. She was very racist, very hated men. And because of my voice, she always thought I was very intimidating and threatening. And I could just say good morning and she would freak out. So she actually filed a complaint against me. And so after that point, I started speaking to her like she was a little kid. I would raise my voice and I would just talk to her like she was a little kid.
See, sometimes you gotta. Greg, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I had on the mute. Maurice, she was upset because you had a deep voice, or what? I mean, or
it was
were
more
you
behind it. I think she was threatened by me. One, because I was more accomplished than she was. She came into this position making the same amount of money that I was making, but yet she was a supervisor managing 26 people at the time. I wasn't. I don't know how she found out about my personal life, but she saw that I was doing all this, X, Y, and Z, traveling to here and there and involved in all this other stuff. So I think she was targeting me, but I think she used my voice as the main, the touching point.
Mm-hmm.
And as we have this conversation, I'm also thinking about when people come into a room, and speak to me, for example, how I watch them change their voice until sometimes I have to bring them in a space of, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I know that it happens, more often than none. I don't know if you guys haven't said it that you've ever had to do that, but I think when I think deeply about that, sometimes it's not for the reason that you feel like you have to do it. Sometimes it's to prove a point. And so, yeah. So
yeah, I'm a black guy in a white industry. It's pharma. I've been here 28 years. I don't really think about much of what they think of me, because if they wanted to replace me, they could have done that 28 years ago. And so I don't think about them that hard. And when I walk into a room, my word is my word, because that's what you hired me to do. And so I don't change that for anyone. And it's not arrogance, it's not disrespect. It's just that this is my field and this is what I do. This is my expertise. You shouldn't question what I'm doing. Right? And so they do that a lot with me. They tried that over the years. And I just simply stay consistent. This is my word, and my word is this, whether it's a yes or whether it's a no. And so I don't change that vocal for myself. I don't change. I don't care that much.
So it leads to the question, and I think we've all said it in one way or another, that sense of being underestimated.
Yeah.
Is that a part of, and whether that's because of the skin we're in or people who are aware of our sexual orientation?
It's definitely the skin. It's definitely the skin. The skin is always first. The skin is first. It could be both, Maurice, but it's definitely that first. You're not supposed to say this. You're not supposed to be this way. You are always beneath me. You're always supposed to stay a level under me. And so, yes, I raise the bar every time I walk in the room.
Yeah. So we bought that, what I refer to as your stay in your place mentality. Like we're not featuring that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm the same way. I could care less now about that. I'm going to be me. I'm not going to change my voice. I'm not going to change my behavior or my thoughts because of someone else. I'm just going to be me.
Well, we're going to go to our last segment, and that's we talked a little bit about this off and on, but we're going to talk about presentation, success, and responsibility. And people often say gay men take better care of themselves. Is that a compliment or is that another stereotype? And I want all three of you to weigh in on that.
A stereotype. There are some like broke down looking gay men that do not like work out or eat well or like dress well. It is exactly. There are a few people who are like into that, but we're not going. This is a family show, but it's like
we were here, and all of a sudden it just
we went right down to the gutter. Sorry, but that is a stereotype. It's a big one. It's a big one.
The big one. What about you, Maurice, on that?
Hygiene is very important to me. Yes. How you present yourself is also how you feel about yourself. So not only how you look, how you take care of your body, how you smell, what you eat, how you talk, it's all, a presentation of you.
Amen.
Well, that's answering my question, because I was thinking, so why do you think, despite the busted men that Greg was talking about, why do you think that we are so intentional about our appearance?
I think a lot of gay men have had to struggle for so long just for acceptance that they've gone above and beyond what ordinary people do. But also, I think there are a lot of gay men that take pride in who they are. And I hate to say this is sort of stereotypical, but throughout history, a lot of gay men have taken extra care in how they look, how they present themselves, not only physically, but in the job, food, what they cook, how they present the food. Everything. I think because of that, we would be living in a very boring world if that did not exist.
I'm going to pose a question to all of you guys, all three of you. Is confidence threatening?
No.
Whoa!
I saw different responses here. Okay.
So I'm gonna go to Greg first.
Is that
Greg,
for us or for someone else?
Huh?
Is that confidence for us or for someone else?
Is confidence? Your confidence? Is confidence in general threatening?
I will answer that because I just got out of a situation like that. People who do not know what they are doing, people who are inept, people who are like envious see confidence as a threat and not an attribute. So if you see a person like hating on you, it's not about you. Almost all the time, it's about them.
more or less. No, I'm going to go to Jules because Jules said no.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Because here's the thing for me, I don't know. I can only speak from my perspective that I literally think that is a superpower. To walk into any room, to walk into any space, to be who you are, to be, you used this earlier, Alvin, authenticity is very important to all of us. I think most of the gay men that I surround myself with great people right now, right? But I got to a point where that had to be a thing. You're not allowed to be in my space or my company if you're not comfortable with yourself, right? You can't need me. You have to apply those things for yourself. And so if you don't have that, you can't be next to me because I can't give you that at this point in my life. You have to be able to be independent on your own.
Wow. I appreciate that. One of the things we talked about earlier, though, was that whole notion of both visibility and role modeling and so forth. So my question to you guys is whether or not you feel being a visible role model is indeed a responsibility for us who are out here, or is that unfair? Is it unfair pressure? What is our role? What is our obligation to be these visible role models?
I don't think it's unfair pressure. I think we're always going to be role models for someone else, no matter what we think or how we present ourselves. I mean, there have been numbers of times that I've received messages on Instagram or Facebook, or someone's pulled me aside and said that I was their inspiration for something or something, because of something I've overcome or something that I've accomplished or something that I've done. So I think that's just part of human nature. Now, how the other person receives it, that could be an issue.
Right?
Yeah, so I really have to be honest. And Maurice, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I really admire you because I know that you've had a few challenges, but you've overcome. I follow you on like social. I see where you are. You have a joy of life that's infectious.
You.
So I try to live my life like Maurice. I look at him and like, oh, okay, I can do that too.
Thank you, Greg.
I want to like flip this a bit because I think as we like age, it's a valuable thing to have a set of friends of all ages. Maurice said it earlier where he said always like learn or like be open, never be at a point where you think that you aren't able to like learn something from like someone, whether they're like older or younger. It's like a two-way thing.
I agree with that. I support that. Yeah. You should never be too old to learn from a different perspective, different experience. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I have learned over my at 67, I learned later in my life that confidence is threatening to a lot of people. And it allowed me to look at myself and make some decisions about the people that I have around me. And it also, and some of the people who were threatened by my confidence, I loved them. I really did love them. And I had to make a decision and tell myself, sometimes you have to leave the people and the surroundings that you love so that you can be in the surroundings that you need to be in.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that makes any sense.
Can I say amen to that?
Or the surroundings that you deserve.
Yeah.
That you deserve. And being in surroundings that you deserve sometimes may look foreign to you, but when you leave something that you love for something that you deserve, it changes the whole game.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
you fly with the level of eagles that you're with. Like you need a group that's always going to push you and inspire you to do those things. Because I've often said that you can tell a lot about a person. You take 10 of a person's friends and put them in a room and talk to them. And it says so much about who they are because they are going to reflect your values and the things that are a part of you. So that company that you keep can say a lot about who you are or who you aspire to be.
Well, could I like ask all of you, is your like social circle getting like smaller as you get older, or is it?
Yeah.
It has gotten.
Yeah, I continue to grow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bobby's
My
like,
social circle has gotten so small,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it because I can do more of what I want to do. But my social circle has gotten small, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I am totally okay with it. First of all, viewers, I want to thank you. I'm looking at you all this way because I can see you all on here. Charles Dotson, Charles Dotson, your comment about authentic confidence is not threatening. It can inspire you to be the best version of yourself. You're going to see that on my page, so I'm letting you know that because I love what you just said. That was beautiful. I want to thank, Michelle, she said, all this black joy, all this black boy joy. I have to say, all 5 of you beautiful black men, the world needs your light. Thank you, Alvin, Bobby, and Sean. Sean is not here. He's our guest correspondent, but thank you for what you do on this platform. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really do appreciate you and all the viewers for tuning in tonight. But before we let the guys go, we got a little game that we play with you. We want to play with you called Rapid Fire. So I'm gonna answer the question and just shoot it out. And it ain't got to be long and short.
Yeah,
but
you got to think, and what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Let's
okay,
go.
and it will be to all 3 of you. Being a black gay man has taught me
Go.
To be smart.
To be myself.
To be empathetic and accepting.
One stereotype that I want to destroy is
All gay men are feminine.
say that, Maurice.
All gay men are feminine.
That we like straight people.
That all of us know how to do like makeup on women.
Okay. If my younger self were sitting beside me, I would tell him
To relax. It's going to be okay.
Enjoy the ride.
You'll be fine. Keep on going.
if the house that you live in was about to fall, I mean, be destroyed, and you could only grab one thing before you run out that house, what are you grabbing?
The dog.
My great grandparents' clock, cuckoo clock, that's been in the family 120 years. You got to go with me. I just happen to have it here.
The fact that you had it right next to you is beyond me. But all right, Maurice,
That's a hard one. Gosh, that's a hard one.
Well, at least grab 5 bottles of cologne. I'm gonna be downstairs at your house.
And Jules, what is your dog's name, Jules? While
Trip.
he's thinking,
Trip.
Oh,
Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Trip goes. Okay, Maurice, what?
I'll say my a container of cologne and my artwork.
Art and cologne.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look. First of all, I want to thank you guys. And tonight wasn't about convincing anyone to accept us. It was about understanding ourselves. Black gay men are not one story. We are fathers, brothers, uncles, leaders, mentors, professionals, entrepreneurs, partners, dog owners, and friends. We carry the weight of race. We carry the complexity of sexuality, and we carry decades of experience that deserve to be heard. Perhaps the greatest lesson isn't asking the world to see us differently. It's making sure we never stop seeing ourselves clearly. Because when we define ourselves, no one else can write our story, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you all don't know this, but this show was written in 1 week. And these guys were available. And there were some guys, I'm not going to name them because they're on. They were hot and ready. They were like, Alvin, when I told them I was doing this, they were like, if anybody just can't do it, you let me know. Okay. I want to thank you all too. You know who you are. Before we go, we want to give you our words of the week this week. And our words are: nothing can dim the light which shines from within. And that is from Maya Angelou, ladies and
Look
gentlemen.
at that graphic of all these gentlemen. Look at these great guys up at the top of that saying. Look at that.
Again, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I love you guys. This is my dream show. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.
Alvin and Bobby, thank you guys. I love you guys
Yes.
so much. This is so great.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you, Greg and Maurice. So, Greg, great to meet you both. Maurice, I got to smell you one day. I have no idea why I said that.
It'll be well worth the trip. I'm telling you.
You know,
Anytime.
it's not even a thing. It's not even. It just is. I've been knowing it for years. It just is. And he can walk in the room, and I'll be like, Maurice.
Maurice is here. I know he is.
And I mean that in the most respectful and uplifting way. Okay, it really does.
I mean it however you take it.
It's done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you on the next live episode of He Said.
He said.
He said.
He said.
There you go. Have a good night and a good weekend. We love you.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great show, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.